Sunday fun day. Always.
That's a term that I saw people want to go away. It's like,
Do
oh,
they?
I still like, yeah, they're like,
Oh,
Sunday fun
I
day is dumb. Well, I love Sunday fun day because
I like
really,
Sunday fun day. I
Sundays
don't
are
like
fun.
Friday. I'm not a big fan of Friday.
What? I've never heard of that.
Friday instead of Friday.
Friday?
Friday, like yay, it's Friday. I I don't like it.
TGIF.
It doesn't bother me so much.
Do you remember Egg Bach? Egg Bach.
Don't remember
Everything's
Egg Bach.
gonna be okay. People had little buttons that said Egg Bach. Everything's gonna be okay.
I don't remember that at all. No.
Yeah.
Hags.
Okay, so
Remember hags?
Hags?
Hags
I
have a
don't
good
remember
summer.
hags. Oh,
In your yearbook in middle
No.
school. Hags have a good summer.
have a good summer. I don't
My-
remember that.
My kids will say that to each other. I don't know what. Like, it's just like a random reference. They'll just be like hags. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about?
Hags, I love it.
Oh, hags.
All right, what are you sharing with me today? I'm afraid to ask.
We shouldn't be. We don't need to be afraid. Now, let me
Okay.
ask you a question.
Oh
If
boy.
in your childhood you ever said to either of your parents, I refuse to go to school, I'm just not going. No, not going. What do you think would have happened?
Oh, you sure as hell are going. There would be no discussion. There's no discussion.
No.
It's you're going. You're going.
You're going. My mother
there
would have
might be a
grabbed me by
threat
the
of
ear.
there might be a threat
Oh.
of minor physical violence, I guess we could say, you know. I mean, depending on what age I was. Oh, you're going. You don't have a choice.
I
You're
never-
going.
Like, first of all, I never would have said that. And if I would have said it as a small child just to like test it, immediately would have been like, oh, that was a bad mistake. I shouldn't have said that.
We'd be
Well,
more inclined to
apparently-
fake sick than to just say I'm not
Fake-
going. No,
for
you're
sure
going to
fake
fake
sick.
sick.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So school refusal is a thing right now where kids are just telling their parents, I'm not going, and they're refusing to go to school. Now I get it. Like if my, 17-year-old son who was bigger than me was like, I'm not going. And like he was like, and things were out of hand. Like, I don't know what recourse I could have to make him go. But let me tell you, there would not be a pleasant environment where he was staying. He would be begging me to go to school. There would be no internet. I would take every fucking piece of anything out of his room. There would be a mattress on the floor. There would be 7 gray sweats, 7 white t-shirts, 7 pairs of, the bare minimum to
No laces.
legally let me be a parent without going to jail for child endangerment. That was what my house would look like. Begging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Begging to go to school. I don't understand. I don't understand school refusal. No, it's not an option. Not
So-
only are you going, but I'm going to go with you.
How does
I'm
the
gonna sit next to you.
school, let me ask you, how does the school react when they get that phone call? Why isn't Johnny in school?
it's-
Or I'm calling in for Johnny. He's not coming to school today because he's refusing to
Yeah.
go.
Well,
I
they
mean-
just they put it. It's an unexcused absence. It's a school refusal, and then those tally up, and then you get the notice, and then you get the DA letter, and then you have to have a meeting with the DA. And I mean, the reality is, at the end of all of this, nothing much happens except if you're 14. I think you have to also, like, you have to court ordered and you have to do some things, but like the real penalty at the end of the day is not like you're just uneducated. Like you're not
You're
smart.
not going to finish school.
You're not going to finish it. You're not going to finish school, which means you're not going to be able to do. That's just going to take you down a path that's not probably pretty good. But like that, just refusing to go. And even if you like were able to get some work done and you showed up occasionally, the grading system now for kids, it's like as long as you do, like, you wave at the teacher once every 70 days, like, you can pass. You give kids that are having like 4 Ds and an F. Yeah, well, you just go to the next grade. What? We got to bring back flunking
Wow.
kids in school. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
happens.
that's
Flunking kids
scary.
and truant officers, and yeah, I mean, if it were like one kid that was doing some of this, and you're like, but it's not just one. It's enough where it, I believe, is a crisis that
So I remember thinking back to school. Yeah, there was always like in grade school there might have been one kid who left during the year, not because they moved,
yeah,
but because they were
something.
having
I don't
there
know.
was something else going on.
Yeah.
There was an issue. And, the parents decided, you know what, we're going to take them out of the school. We're going to try another school. Or they ha have been asked not to come back for whatever reason. And
Right.
in that case, it was usually a pretty serious reason
Yeah.
that,
No.
had to be addressed. And then in high school, I mean, you had kids that left
You
for whatever reasons. Like Catholic school was not for everybody.
no.
We went to
It
Catholic school,
wasn't.
and Catholic school was not for everybody. And so I think there were a lot of kids that, well, not a lot, but there were kids that, you're going to Catholic school and they didn't want to go, and
No.
it
A lot
didn't
of
work out.
rules.
It didn't work out. And they did fine in public school, or maybe they didn't do fine in public school. And then there's a more serious issue there. But yeah, Catholic school wasn't for everybody, and that's okay. It's not for everybody. Um,
And instead of not going, like you'd go, but you wouldn't participate, right? Like you'd put your head down, you'd
mhm.
nap, you'd ditch, you'd like
You get
you'd
yourself
find
kicked out,
anything.
basically. Yeah,
Right. You just did
because you
other
didn't want to be
things,
there.
but just flat out refusal. Huh?
Wow. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I really
I
don't.
don't either. It is banana land bonkers that though that it's an option. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
there is a lot more homeschooling now than there used to be.
There's a lot of
Um,
homeschooling options, but
yeah.
but those kids that are doing school refusals, the parents aren't then taking the next step to then say, okay, we're going to do homeschool and here's this program and inside. They're not even doing that. The kid's just
Mm,
not doing anything.
they're just not
And then
going to school at
like
all.
they're just not going to school at all. They're not doing anything. And
Oh, God.
there's to get it when it's tough family situations, right? And if you've
Mm-hmm.
got, in some instances, it's a grandparent that's got custodial rights over the kid because parents are either
Right.
passed away or they're in some other situation. And so, now you have grandparents that are trying to navigate this for the first time, and the kid knows they can just walk all over them. And they just, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have any answers. I'm just saying it's bananas. I
It is
tell
bananas.
when I talk about these things with my kids, and they're like they start having panic attacks about what would have happened if they did those things. My son will be like, "My palms are sweating right now. Can we stop talking about this?" Oh,
Oh my gosh. I don't
I'm
know. I don't know
all
what to say about that.
yeah. I'm also glad
Yeah.
I personally never really had to do it, and I just had to give my kids a look, and they'd kind of straighten up
Hmm.
enough to not, because that would have been really hard to really follow through on all the things I said I was gonna do.
Yeah. I mean, you think about, how do you enforce something like that? How do you enforce something like that? I mean, really, if your kid's
Well, like
bigger
I
than
said,
you,
yeah. I mean,
he's saying, I'm not going.
you got to make things really, really tough at home.
Yeah.
You can't have the luxuries of being at home, because if they have all the things, and I get, right, like if you're right, like I was divorced, working full time, sometimes traveling for work, like what am I gonna do? Like
Hmm.
I
How are
have to
you
go to
controlling the
work.
situation at
How
home
do you
when you're
do
not
that?
even
Yeah,
there?
like
Yeah.
yeah, like what it's
Another reason why I chose to never have children. I mean, I can barely discipline myself. How do I discipline a child? I,
I
um,
get it, man.
oh boy.
It
Okay.
is
Well,
it's a
school's almost
collection
out
of
for summer. So
yeah, then
then
they're
what do
going
you
to be
do with them
running
all
amok.
summer?
Yeah, right. And
At
then they're
least they were in
gathering in
school. Now what do you do?
they're gathering in groups of 300 just trying to
Beating
run
each other
amok on
up.
the beat. Yeah, it's going to be
So I have a couple things that caught my attention this week, and they have to do, well, one of them has to do with, it's summer, and our
Mhm.
topic today, we're going to talk about summer vacations, family vacations, things we did during summer. I had something arrive at work that I had to deliver. It was an outdoor air conditioner. What the hell is that? for camping.
A fan?
For
An
camping.
outdoor air conditioner.
And I'm thinking it was kind of like looked like a portable air compressor.
Right.
And I just thought,
But how
for
effective is it
camping?
really?
Why are you camping if you have to bring an air conditioner with you? And then somebody said, oh, you can put it in a tent. I'm like, again, why are you camping if you need an air conditioner? Where are you camping? Death Valley in July? And that, I mean, we were never big campers growing up. I did
No.
camping, as I got older. Tom and I did a lot of camping. And I don't understand how you have to bring everything with you when you're camping. Isn't camping, you're getting away, you're getting out in nature, sleeping in the outdoors. I don't need satellite TV while I'm camping. I certainly don't need an air conditioner while I'm camping. I don't
I'm just like
understand.
still
I don't
questioning
understand that.
the effectiveness of it. I mean, I guess in a tent,
I understand a
maybe
portable
see,
air conditioner, but this specifically said outdoor air conditioner. I don't get it. I don't get it.
People want some of those comforts when they go,
I
and
guess.
it's tough to sleep
Maybe
when
if
it's
you
hot.
maybe if you have a medical condition, okay,
I
I
don't know.
can get behind that or something of that sort. But
Get an
I don't know.
RV.
Camping certainly has changed.
Oof.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
hasn't changed for me because
Um,
I don't do it.
I have another one, and this is something that I know is a hill that you will die on, and certainly because people are going to be on the road a lot during
Mm.
summer season traveling. I think this might actually turn into, we could actually do a whole series on this. But
I could go on for days.
the driver's ed refresher that we've talked about in the past, and this could be an installment of that, and that is yielding to emergency vehicles. Now, I witnessed this just yesterday. I was sitting at a red light waiting to turn after work. And here comes lights, sirens, and this ambulance is hauling ass in the suicide lane because not one car is pulling over in either direction of traffic. And I'm just literally, he went by me as I'm sitting there at the red light, and I had this face. Not one car is pulling over. People were actually like, I'm like, is that truck racing the ambulance? I mean, it's crazy. So I looked up I did a little, deep ditty online. And, a lot of states have move over laws. Do
Yeah.
people even know that?
No.
And I was reading some comments from actual, firemen, ambulance drivers, people that do this kind of work. And they said, we're hearing that people are being told, kids in driver's education or driver's training are being told not to slow down, pull over, but to just slow down and stop where you are. So, no.
That's wrong.
Stopping in the middle of the road, I mean, that's
If
even
you-
a bigger problem. If you can't
If you
pull over,
can't get over, then you stop
then
where
you slow
you're
down
at.
and stop.
Yeah.
And if you're sitting at a red light and you see a ambulance come up behind you, you can pull through the intersection and pull over on the other side.
And pull over so
and
that they
let
can
them
get through.
Create a space, let them through. And I was reading one comment from a fireman that drives the big ladder truck. Basically said, what some of us are doing now is as we drive past these people that won't pull over, we give them a big thumbs down. It's not the finger, it's a big thumbs down to kind of tell them, hey, you're not pulling over. And I thought, that's awesome. That's awesome. Good for them.
Somebody making a big foam thumb, just holding it upside down.
Thumbs down. Now, I don't know that people understand that you're supposed to stop for funeral processions as well.
Mm-hmm.
You don't join in.
Yeah.
Don't
Nope.
get in the line with them because the traffic's moving. You're supposed to stop and wait for a funeral procession to pass. Do people know that? I don't know if people know that.
100% they don't know that.
And my final one, and this one, it may not apply to everybody. It depends on what part of the country you live in. or Long Beach. And depending on what you call it, a traffic circle, a rotary, a roundabout. I live where there's a lot of traffic circles, and the number of people that don't understand how to drive in a traffic circle baffles me. There's a giant yield sign as you approach the traffic circle. What do you think that means? That means you slow down.
Means yield.
And you yield. You yield to the left, to the traffic that's in the traffic circle. You proceed if it's clear. And if you're in the left lane, don't try to go all the way and exit to the right, realizing, oh, whoops, this is where I need to get out of the traffic circle, and cut off 15 people behind you. That's happened plenty of times. Also, if there's a large truck in the traffic circle, you need to stay clear of it. Don't try to race it. Don't get next to it. You can be in front of it. You can be behind it. Stay out of its way. And I don't think people understand that. It's a
You'll
big
be
truck.
dead.
They made wide turns. You could be dead. So as people are traveling this summer, I know this is your hot button. That's why I thought
Some
this
grace
is totally
and
appropriate.
some patience. Know the
Please,
law.
please, please know the law, and just be careful out there. Be careful. You can't control over other drivers, but you can control yourself.
But at least drive the speed limit. And if you're not going to drive the speed limit, let's say the traffic conditions are perfect. I get it, in the rain, fog, other things. It's bright, sunny, it's perfect. There's no conditions. If you don't want to drive the posted traffic, right lane, far right lane. We need to bring back impeding traffic laws and start citing people. The amount of people doing 30, 40 in a 60 mile an hour when I'm trying to get somewhere is infuriating.
Yeah. I mean, and as a left lane driver, I proudly admit I like to drive in the left lane.
Yeah.
But if I see you coming up on my ass hot, I'll get over. I have no problem with that.
That's it. Get over.
But don't flash your lights at me. You know, don't be a douche about it. I see you.
If you don't get over fast
I
enough,
see
I
you.
might.
I see
I don't
you.
do any of that flashing. I just
Yeah. Give one of these.
I just zest and
Get off my
fester.
lawn.
fester in my own head. And then if you do get over, or I find a way to get around you, I don't look either. I don't want to look.
All right. Okay. On that note, so what do you want to share? What do you want to talk about as far as family vacations and other summer fun?
So when I was younger, when I was little growing up, we always, like, our family vacation was always 1 week, and we always went to, I don't know what what it was called at the time, but it is now known as the Pine Rose Cabins in Twin Peaks, California, up by Lake Arrowhead. And when I was little, they had like maybe 10 cabins, and they're all different sizes and different rooms, and they had a pool and a ping pong table and horseshoes, and it was just very, very cabin basic. Nothing. I don't even think they had TVs inside any of the rooms. And the owners were building this big, giant, huge house on the, like, there's a road that you could walk, like, not really a hike. It's only like a mile away, but you go through this one little spot and you go up to the water tower, and everybody would like carve their names in the wood in the water tower. And then it overlooked Lake Gregory. And like, we'd go ice skating at the outdoor ice skating rink in Lake Arrowhead. We'd go to the lake and walk around. Like, that was our family vacation. It was, as soon as we were up, we were in the pool all day long. We would barbecue. We would play card games. We just fun stuff. And then as I got older, it's still a place we went to a lot. So my dad and his business partner bought a condo up there. So we'd go up and visit the condo. It was like, I took for granted that, like, simple, easy little, like, just vacation spot that we went, and how much fun we had. And then with my own kids, we never really did family vacations, just because the kids were involved in so many travel sports that those turned into like mini random vacations because,
Hmm.
you're spending $40,000 a year in travel ice hockey. There's not a whole lot left over for a nice
A
family
cruise.
vacation anywhere. We're not going to Hawaii anytime soon.
Yeah.
So that was
So
our fun.
we never went to one specific place every year. Um, I remember going to Disney World in Florida when we were little. Um, and when we moved to California, like we lived on the water in New
Yeah.
Jersey. So summers, I don't remember doing a lot of vacations. I know there was one time we had these neighbors across the street that moved to Illinois, and I know we went to visit them once because that was like my mom's best friend and my best friend growing up. And I know we went to visit them once and drove there. And I kind of remember that kind of stuff. People came to visit us a lot because, being on the
By the
water
shore.
and we had a boat and that kind of fun stuff. I know we always took swimming lessons every summer. There
Oh
was a
yeah,
lot
we
of
did too.
swimming, a lot of
Yeah.
swimming. When we moved to California, we did a lot of travel to see other parts of California. Now, this involved being in a car for a long period of time.
With
And
your brothers.
yes, we had a station wagon
Of
for a
course.
long period of time, which made things a little bit easier. But then the cars got smaller as gas got more expensive, and so that became rough. I think that was the roughest part of the trips was getting there, and not just five people in a smaller car, but all of our stuff. And we did have a boat, so we would take our boat with us. So that became basically like all of our stuff was in the boat. You only had in the car what you needed, like snacks and maybe a jacket, extra pair of shoes. It's like everything was in the boat. So we did a lot of trips where we brought the boat with us. I know we did a houseboat trip one year. I think, did we do Lake Powell? I think we did Lake Powell. Uh, we might have done the Delta. We might have done that twice, but that was fun. Houseboating was fun. And then as we got older, then the weddings started. And
Yeah.
as you know, I got a lot of first cousins, and so we traveled a lot for the weddings. And very grateful. My parents were very generous in, helping fund those trips because they wanted everyone to be there. They didn't want us to not go because, oh, I don't have the money. So
Right.
and then we all had our own space. We had our own travel arrangements, so things got easier to travel as a family for those types of trips. Now, we did do a trip for my parents' 50th anniversary, which was in the Alaska cruise, and that was a really nice trip. I would do another cruise, but yeah, we did Tahoe a few years in a row. We did it with another family. That's kind of fun. And then as we got older and were going off to school, then it got harder because everybody had all different schedules and was going in different directions and that kind of stuff. Now, we did have kind of a family joke that, and apparently this came from me, and I don't know why we were in Barstow. I don't know if we stopped overnight there for some reason, but my whole thing was I would complain that, oh yeah, these family trips we go on, we went to Barstow. I don't even know why we were there. We might have only just stopped there, for something,
It's a
but
halfway point to something, right?
yeah, it's a halfway point to somewhere, but that was kind of the joke was, oh, my mom would say, oh, complains that we only ever took her to Barstow and look at all the trips you went on and all your friends were jealous that you got to go places. And I'm like, look at the time you're in that kind of preteen awkward stage. Last thing you want to do is be shoved in a car with your sweaty brothers going somewhere you didn't want to go. And, but now looking back, absolutely, I appreciate it. Absolutely, we were rotten kids on those trips, but it didn't stop my parents from still saying we're taking a trip. We did a sailing trip to Catalina one time on a sailboat in the spring. It was spring break, in a storm.
The water,
We
I was
were on
gonna
this
say, the
boat in a
water's not
freaking
really,
storm.
just not great water in the spring going to Catalina.
Yeah,
That's
the
rough
weather.
seas.
Yeah, so yeah, we hit like a little squall that, my dad, being an experienced sailor that he was, he handled it. We handled it. I
Great.
I went below and closed my eyes. Said, let me know when it's over. But yeah. So we did do a lot of interesting things. And
We
didn't
also,
appreciate them at the time, but definitely now I
yeah,
appreciate them more. Thanks, Mom.
we also had, it was the family picnic. So the majority of my dad's side of the family from San Pedro, he was one of 9. His siblings were all had their own, like my cousins, there was 9 in that family. Some of them were 5. So like just huge family. And most of us were all still in San Pedro, but we would have a huge family. And you'd have to get up at like 7 in the morning because you have to go stake out your spot because you couldn't like
Mhm.
reserve a spot.
Where was it, at the
And
beach or
no, it was at
the
Peck
park?
Park.
Oh,
Yep,
Peck
yep, Peck
Park. Oh my
Park.
God.
Yeah, I
I
know,
used to go
right?
ice
Ugh.
sliding at Peck Park because they had that big
Yeah,
hill, get big blocks of
yeah.
ice and slide down
We
them.
would bring blocks of ice to do
Mm.
that at the picnic, and they would like we would do like set up all kinds of, right. People would bring potluck food, right? So we would get, it'd be a lot of buckets of Kentucky Fried Chicken, and then extra stuff on the side, fruit bowls and baked beans, and just full glutton food, cookies and cupcakes and candy, and we'd make, it would be, there'd be a softball game. It'd be, sometimes it was kids versus adults, sometimes we'd pick, sometimes it was just random, and it was just makeshift, right? So you'd put things out, you'd step however many feet, and you'd be like, oh, this looks about right, here's first base, here's second base, someone would hit a ball, you'd pick the base up and run with it, like just shenanigans. Water balloon fights, squirt guns, and then at the time Peck Park did have they did have one of those silver slides that you'd burn your butt cheeks on. They also did have the metal merry-go-round, so that was also fun. Somebody always got hurt. Probably a few concussions. Probably a few people drank way too much or did some other crazy stuff. But yeah, those were fun family picnics for real. Those were good.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done a few since everybody started getting married and we did weddings. If there was a lull in the wedding uh, lineup, then we'd plan a
Ugh.
family reunion where we could all get together. So we did Tahoe, the last one we did, which was fun because I got with my cousin and I said, "Look, I'm tired of doing all the traveling. Tahoe's close for me. Let's do it."
I'm
She's
in.
like, "Oh, that's a
Yeah.
good one." That was a location everybody could agree on. So that was fun. But yeah, it's I think I actually asked my parents at one point. I said, "Can we actually have some input into where we go on the family vacation?" And I got a resounding no.
No.
No, we decide where we're
No.
going and you're going. That's it. That's it. Couldn't
Now,
couldn't bring friends with us, and I understand
mm-mm.
why. Number one, there was no room in the car, and number two, they didn't want to be responsible for someone else's kid, on a vacation. It was bad enough having someone else's kid at our house. They didn't want to have someone,
Oh
that
yeah,
they had to be
and
responsible for. Um,
at
so
least back in, I mean, back in those days, if something did happen, you as the like vacationing parent could take the child to the doctor to get them. Now it's
right,
like you have to get a notarized letter that says you authorize them to give care, and if you forget that, there's just so many different
yeah.
regulations. There was so that we had the Tads, Shauna Tad, shout out Shauna Tad. They were the family down 5 houses down. They had everything. They were both engineers. They did well, like they weren't like, they were upper middle class, but
Hmm.
like had all the toys. And they had a huge like 40-foot RV and all the camping stuff. And so we'd go to Lake Buena Vista, and we'd get, everybody got to bring, like all of their kids got to bring friends. And
Oh,
there were some step kids so it'd be just like 15 of us and they had a boat, so they'd tow the boat, and I tried to water ski, couldn't do it. I was not
oh, I loved
not
water
my
skiing.
I
Yeah.
couldn't do it. I tried, I couldn't do it. I wasn't strong enough. I was probably 9. I couldn't get up. But those
Yeah.
were super fun. We'd have a great, it wasn't, I don't, it was probably like what, like a 3 hour drive. And once you got when you first get there and setting everything up, but once everything was set up and you had 3 or 4 days, man, it was so much fun in the water all the time. I loved going. I mean, I was a water person. We had a pool. I'd swim from sun up to sundown.
Oh yeah, love to swim. I mean, we were always
Yeah,
swimming. Like I said, we lived on the
always.
water. We had a boat. Everything revolved around water. We went to the beach a lot in the summertime. We were always beach people. Like I said, we weren't campers. But we did when we were kids. We had a YMCA. We do day camp in the summertime. They had a
Yep.
program which included
Yep.
swimming lessons.
Yep.
We were always really
Same.
good swimmers. Never did like sleepaway camp. Um, but those
I
make the
think
best movies.
Yeah, right.
Sleepaway
I
camps.
think the I think the one YMCA camp that we did, there was one night that you could do like the
Hmm.
like parents' night out kind of sleepover thing, and I always like I was all fired up to do it, but then it'd get like late, and I'd be like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like I just
Hmm.
was not comfortable being
Yeah, I
in,
want to go
so
home
I
now.
didn't do too, but like
Yeah.
I'd get one of those, and then there was one year where my mom and dad, they rented an RV and we took it to Pismo Beach. And it was just me because my brother and sister were older and like in college, and I got to invite a friend. And I think we were like maybe 13 or 14, but like it's the worst possible age because you can't really go do anything on your own.
Hmm.
And like my family wasn't campers. They didn't know what else was there. And like we're at a big campsite, and like we don't have all of the camping thing. Like we're not campers, so we don't have all the
Hmm.
toys and all the gadgets and whatever. And you could go play like badminton, or you could go, but we were like too old to hang out with my parents and have like, and no offense, mom and dad, they weren't like fun. They weren't a fun, like that's in, there was
They
just not.
read, or
Yeah, it
they
was
do
good.
stuff like that. Like they
Yeah,
wanted to relax. They didn't want to do stuff. They
right.
wanted to
They
sit
didn't
and
want to do
relax.
stuff.
Yeah.
But then we were too young to really like go venture out too far and try
Hmm.
and like find other groups of kids to go like get into trouble with, because we had the, right, the radius wasn't very long. The
Hmm.
leash was pretty short, but that was not the funnest of trips. That was actually kind of miserable.
Well, and if you're at a campground that doesn't really have stuff to do there, like you're just basically sitting, like hiking.
Yeah,
No one wants
yeah,
to go hiking at that age. And like there's no store,
no,
there's no playground, there's no, like arcade. If you're at
yeah,
like
but
one of
you're
those
also
type
like,
of
yeah,
campgrounds,
that's
it's
where
you
we
can have
were.
fun, but yeah, but it's like if you're just there and all you have around you is dirt and maybe a little store that has soda, snacks, and
Yeah,
Band-Aids
there wasn't much.
where you check in, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's rough at that age.
Right, and we didn't have bicycles, and we didn't like there we
Hmm.
didn't have any of that stuff because we weren't a camping family, and
Yeah,
that was the first and only time my parents rented an RV.
yeah, yep. Um,
Thankfully,
how about did you ever have to go to summer school?
you have to go to summer school. Is that
Summer
what you
school?
said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. My before I entered my freshman year at Bishop, I had to take a summer school class. Ugh. And I had like my sister would take me because she had, I don't even know what, but she had something like my siblings had to take care of me when I was that age. So she would take me one way, and then I would take the bus back. Oh, the bus from Bishop to San Pedro, that was a
Mm-hmm.
fucking nightmare.
That's a haul.
And then yeah, and then somebody in the neighborhood was also in, so then they started taking me. So I don't have to take the bus too often, but yes, I had to take summer school before I could even go to ninth grade. I
Yeah.
was not a good student. I was dumb.
Well, I did summer league basketball before we were freshmen, and then I think I did summer school not because I had to, but there was like a computer class that they were
Oh yeah, they had
offering.
fun.
And I mean,
Yeah, they had some
we
fun
were
classes.
this was the cusp of, our generation of computers. So it was like, okay, go take a
It was
computer
just
class
happening.
so you at least know how to use a computer. And at that point, it wasn't word processing. It wasn't like
No.
it was X plus Y equals A plus B. And I'm like, what are we even
Yeah,
doing?
it's
It
like
was
programming.
It's like, here's how to use a computer, basically, and here's like 10 different things you can do. Um, but that was it. That was the only summer school I had to do. And then as we got older, it was you went and got a job for summer.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And because you're not going to sit around at the house and do nothing all day
No, you're not.
was was what you heard. So you either uh
You either took a class or went to,
yeah,
yeah, you had to
or got a
sign up for
job,
something or got a job.
right?
Yeah.
Or get a job. So yeah, that's what we did. Um Now there are um some movies that I want to mention.
One of my favorite
Summer
movies of
School
all times.
with Mark
That one is
Harmon.
very funny. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh,
And
that one's funny.
all of the National Lampoon Vacation movies,
Yeah.
those are a good time. Now, I was aware that they did a updated um, vacation movie. Basically, Rusty grows up and wants to take his kids to Wally World. And I sat down and watched it in preparation for this episode.
Oh, wow.
Came out in 2015, and it is actually hilarious. I
I'll have
thought it
to
was going to be
check it
dumb.
out.
They
I did
leaned
not
into
watch it.
it. They leaned into it in the same way that the Brady Bunch movies leaned
Gotcha.
into
Yeah.
being, making fun of that whole
Everything.
series. So yeah, they it's pretty funny. Now, I will have to say, spoiler alert, that Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo as Clark and Ellen Griswold do make an appearance at the end of the movie. I'm not a big Chevy Chase fan. I thought he was funny in those
Oh, I love
movies,
him.
but he tries to do the clumsy comedy shtick that he kind of is known
That's
for,
him. Yeah.
and it just doesn't land like it used to. And that physical comedy there used to be almost a gracefulness about the way he did it that made it funny, like a
Well, he's
casualness.
100 years old.
And it doesn't, you'll see if you watch it what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, but it just doesn't land right. But you have to have them. You have to have them come back for that movie. But it's got some really funny, parts and some funny scenes and some good cameos from some other actors. So I highly recommend the National Lampoon 2015 vacation movie. It's a
One
good
of my
time.
all-time favorites that you just kind of forget about was Meatballs. That is
That was a good
funny.
one.
It is so hilarious. It is
That is good.
it is Bill Murray at his absolute perfectionist peak. It's so funny. It is so funny. It is the epitome of the camp counselor summer camp. Everything you need in it is there. It's great.
Yep, it was good.
Get out there. Get out there. That's one of the first movies where, so one of the terms we use when you're like being an idiot, like, and I've used it for years, is mook. Like, you're a mook, right? Like, that's one of the first movies where that word, I don't know where it originated from, but we've used that word.
That's where
Spaz
spaz came
also
from.
is there. Spaz
Yep.
is also in there. Where
Yep.
there's a, is it an egg carrying contest or
It's some
full
kind of
coffee
contest
mug or something?
and they're all
And the whole crowd, it's the only thing he can do, and everybody, spaz,
spaz,
and he wins. He makes it.
and it starts all soft. They're all spaz, and it slowly gets louder as he's, I forget what the contest was.
It's a coffee cup stacking carrying or something.
Something.
Oh, it's hilarity.
Yeah.
Hilarity.
Yeah, so summer's my favorite season. I'm looking forward to it. I am wearing white pants today. I know it's not Memorial Day yet, but I don't care. I'm wearing white before Memorial Day.
Yeah,
but I'm ready for summer.
Okay.
I like summer because it's very, I don't know, I guess it just reminds me of that freedom you had as a child during summer. And where before you had to have a job, before you had to, before the weight of the world crushed your little spirit, it's just, summer was fun. And so I try to kind of like, even though, you still have to go to work every day, we don't get summer's off
I think
from
people are a
work as
little,
adults.
yeah,
But I love
people,
summer.
I
It's
think,
the
yeah.
weather's nice. It's light early. It's light late. You have it just feels like you have more time in the day to enjoy the day, and you're not bundling up clothes and having to wear stuff that is just so. It's just freeing. It's the most freeing season of the year to me. Just let me be free. I just want to be free. So,
Well, you
you
are,
know,
if that wasn't a pitch for everyone for summer to be their favorite, I don't know what is. I'm a fall girl myself. I don't
now don't get
know.
me wrong. I love sweater weather, but I don't know. It just seems like I think that as creatures that are, made up of mostly water and hair and skin, we need that light. We need
We
all the
do need
light
the
we can
light.
get.
Yes, we
And
do.
summer just feels like open, fresh, light, and free. And really, isn't that all we want? Isn't that all we
I
need?
guess maybe. And Diet Coke,
And a Diet
uh,
Coke.
unofficial sponsor.
So anyways, yeah, that's all I got about summer vacations, family vacations. Um, there was a line in Vacation when I was watching it. It said it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And poor old Clark Griswold, that's all he wanted, and that's all Rusty wanted was just to have a good experience with his family, and just everything goes wrong. But those make good memories and good stories, and that's the stuff we remember. So, uh, anyway, what you talking about, Willis?
So I just did a little 30 seconds of research and looked at what are some of the terms people use for vacations, right? Like we have staycations, which is where either you go local, like we've done staycations where we'll
Mm-hmm.
get like one night at the hotel down right on the beach, just
Mm-hmm.
so we can go to the beach and go to the pool and just kind of have a day without having to drag a bunch of shit back and
Right. Not
forth.
worry about
Uh,
parking and all that
yeah,
nonsense.
go
Yeah.
have a night, either get room service or go to the nice restaurant and just have a disconnect from home. Um, then somebody said they sometimes refer to their family vacation as a team retreat to make it
Mm-hmm.
sound a little bit different. But the one that I had not heard of was gramping, which is when you send the kids to go visit grandparents so you can go off. So you're
Mm-hmm.
gramping. I'm like, oh, that sounds like fun.
That's cute. Yeah. Or
It's
glamping.
cute.
Glamping, where
Glamping, yeah,
you're staying in a
glamorous
luxury
camping.
type of cabin
Yeah,
where you have an
yeah.
outdoor air conditioner, probably. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I had,
The other thing
gramping.
I will say about how camping has changed is it's not quiet anymore. It's like camping used to be you're going out to enjoy the peace and quiet of nature. Everybody's got a generator or, something that keeps their air conditioning going in their motorhome. It's unless you're dry camping somewhere, car camping, away from like a campground or an RV type of campground, you don't get that quiet anymore.
Or if you've got things spread out, so like Doheny State Beach or Crystal Cove, the campsites are there's at least some space around
Mm-hmm.
them, so you're not right on top of each other. So
Right.
like here they've got the campground that's seasonal. It's not available in the summer. It's a parking lot with hookups. It's not a
Right.
campsite. Like
Right.
people are like, "Oh, you can camp here." I'm like, it's a
RV
parking lot with
park.
hookups. It's
RV
a
park as opposed to an actual campground. Yeah.
I barely would even call it an RV park. It's a parking lot with hookups. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's no other amenity other than the hookups.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing else. It's and people and I'm like, if I were
Mm-hmm.
going, that's not a place I would pick just because it's so crowded. It's so noisy. You're on Pacific Coast Highway across the street from three hotels who could be having a major event outside by the
Right.
it's constant. And then but there are people that love it. We
Yeah.
signing up all the time.
We didn't camp as kids because my dad used to say he did all the camping that he wanted to do when he was in the army. And
Yeah,
he's like,
right.
I'm not. And I'm at the point now where
It's a lot of work.
I got to a point where I said I work too hard to sleep on the ground. And
Yeah.
now it's kind of like, you know what? I
Now I
camping's fun
think
when you're younger. As you get older,
yeah,
it gets hard. And I don't want to do RVs. That's not my thing. So,
I think I would like to have one of those little like teardrop
mm-hmm.
15-foot trailers that has a bed, a bathroom, a little kitchen. That's all I need. I
That's all
don't
you need.
need, right? It's got my stuff in it. It's got, right, it's tiny, it's small. It's small enough
It's
that if you're in a it's right, like that might be fun. I don't know that I'm going to do it, but if
it's
I were going to
crazy.
do it,
It's crazy what some of these RVs have now. And we
it's
had
insanity.
shout out Edie and Jerry that would come up to June Lake every year, and I took a tour of their RV one time, and I'm like,
They're
wow, this is
gorgeous.
crazy, you
Crazy.
know?
And you don't, it's like you push a button and the pop outs go
Mm-hmm.
and the this happens and the this and it converts into and
Yeah,
it's like full transformer. And I mean, some of these are like just a regular Sprinter van with everything is
yeah,
over $100,000. Like
yeah,
it's not like the little like the things I'm talking about, the little teardrop, whatever, they're 50 grand. Like
yeah, yeah.
it's not inexpensive. Those great
No,
big, huge luxury ones, they're $500,000.
yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah. We were sitting there on their little, patio, and he's like, "Watch this!" And he pushes a button, and a TV pops out on the outside of
Yeah.
the RV. I'm
Yep.
like, "Okay." And I've seen,
Yeah.
I used to see some where there was like the back of the RV would fold down, and you had like a little back patio with a sliding
Yeah.
screen door.
Uh-huh.
And I would
Yep.
walk by, and I'd say, "That's where the band should play." And the owner would look at me like, "What?" Like, you got a band tonight? So yeah, I mean, but there are some people they live in that part of the year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
especially here in the Arizona, people leave the state because it's deathly hot, and they go to cooler parts of the country and then come back in the wintertime. So if that's your thing, that's great.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
Yeah.
could do it. Um, but yeah, so what you're talking about, Willis, is Hacky Sack is back with the high school
Oh,
kids.
yeah, it is. It
Uh,
is back.
what?
I did make a note of that.
Why? Oh, how did
I
that
don't
come back?
know. I
That's, I
I
mean,
don't know.
that was the thing when we were in school. Was it grade
Yeah,
school
I don't
or more high school? I don't remember.
mm,
I thought it was
probably like
more,
right around like seventh, eighth, ninth. So like kind of
yeah.
like right in between would be considered middle school for public school. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
have that. We just had, yeah. I have heard that it's back. I don't know why.
And it just kind of reminded me that it's the simplest things
Yeah.
that that really are timeless, you know? Hacky sack. It's literally a beanbag, a tiny
Yeah,
beanbag.
and there's not like there's all those right there's various different they've got the where you hit the ball on the small trampoline. I don't know what that one's called. And then
I
there's
think
some
it's
other ones. But there's
spike ball.
spike
Spike
ball, yeah,
ball.
but
Yeah.
there's right pickleball, spike ball and but there's handball like there's all these quote unquote rules. With hacky sack the only rule is don't let it touch the ground.
Don't let it touch the
Like
ground.
there's no point system, there's no, right? Like it's just kick it around, don't let it touch the ground, and when it touches the ground, everybody goes, "Ah!" Right? You
Yeah.
start over, count. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
thought that was fascinating. I'm like, hacky sack's back? Wow.
hacky sack is
We've
back.
really come full circle, haven't we?
We have. What's going to be next? What's going to be coming back next?
I don't know. I think jelly shoes were trying to make a comeback, but oh
Yep,
God,
jelly
no.
shoes were, yep.
No.
Yep, the neon, probably neon maybe. That'll make another comeback.
Yeah. Too funny.
Yeah.
And everything comes full circle. Save your
Yeah.
wardrobe. Don't
Yeah,
give
I
anything
mean, you know,
away.
I mean, save your favorites. You don't save everything.
No
I
kidding.
honestly, so there's a somebody I follow on Instagram, and they take like your fur coat and they like dismantle it, and then they make you something else. And I'm like, oh, that would be like, I would love to have. I don't need a full length mink coat, but like a vest would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Or they took this one apart and they made little mink teddy bears.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how cute is that? Those kind of like, but it's as much as the mink coat would cost. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
$500 to have that, and I'm like, yikes! I don't like it that. I'm not balling like that kind of cash.
Yeah.
So it still sits hanging in the closet.
Yeah. I know us, the poor girls in their fur coats.
I know. Jesus Christ. It's
All
just
right,
in
well,
the
that's all
closet.
I got. Everybody get
All right,
out
that's
and
all I got.
enjoy your summer and be safe out there and, pull over for ambulances.
Get a hacky
Um,
sack.
get a hacky sack. Bring a hacky sack to your next summer shindig.
To your campsite. Your
And
shindy.
your shindy, as it were. Your wingding. Have some shenanigans with your hacky sack.
Shenanigans. Yeah, you gotta have some shenanigans.
And if you are in
Don't
summer
be a mook.
school, God bless you.
Oh, yeah.
Stay in school, kids. Stay in school. It's not that bad. You will
It's
survive.
not.
I
Just
promise.
go.
You'll get there.
Yeah. You'll be fine.
That's all I got.
All right. Peace out, everybody.
All right. Peace out.